comes to, like, say, the humongous world that is the Whoverse, in a way, like, say, you know, like, looking back at, like, say, sometimes we try to figure, like, say, what happened to certain characters after, like, say, companions had, like, say, you know, Doctor, I'm gonna go on my own way, I'm gonna, like, live my life, and all that sort of thing. Well, what happened to certain characters and all that? Well, specifically, this time looking at the Doctor's very own granddaughter, Susan Foreman. Well, that was her, you know, human name when she was on Earth. But, yeah. But before we get into that, you know who we are. I bet you do. We are... For you. When it comes to the character of Susan Foreman, also known as just or the character of Susan, the Doctor's grandfather, who was like the original companion or the first companion. So, you know, she would in a way go to school. She would end up meeting the Doctor's, you know, later companions, Ian Chesterton and Barbara Wright, who were her teachers at school. And in a way, they would at times, you know, meet the Daleks. You know,
you will move ahead of us and follow my directions. This way.
you know, meet other, you know, race of aliens, and also go on many other adventures during that time frame. But eventually, you know, like, say what comes in life, you know, like, people grow, people, you know, like, people in a way change. They, you know, grow to love life. They want to experience what life gives them. And that is what happened to Susan, in which they eventually landed in 2160, which landed in was going to be populated by the Dalek invasion. And she ended up developing feelings for the freedom fighter named David Campbell. And usually when it comes to love, you know, you feel like say, no, I can't do this, you know, you start to, like, reject one's feelings. But those feelings were too strong, and so the Doctor, in a way, said this.
You're still my grandchild, and always will be. But now, you're a woman too. I want you to belong somewhere, to have roots of your own. With David, you'll be able to find those roots, and live normally like any woman should do. Believe me, my dear, your future lies with David, and not with a silly old buffer like me. One day, I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back.
And that, in a way, was one of, after this, Doctor saying, hey, I love you, my child, but I have to let you go. And after this will be like one of the last few times we would see the character of Susan and her grandfather in a way. Until, like, the time frame in the 1983 special, The Five Doctors, in which she is reunited with the Doctor, her doctor.
I don't know. Never mind that.
Is he really?
Me? Yes. Yes, I'm afraid so. Regeneration. Fourth. Goodness me, so there are 5 of me now. This is Susan.
Yes, I know.
And you two are...
Tola?
And I'm Tegan Jovanka. Who might you be?
I might be any number of things, young lady. As it happens, I am the Doctor.
Or grandfather. And meeting, like, say, the later versions of him, the 5th Doctor, as well, in which, you know, she gets like, say, hey, hello, and all that stuff. So, judging the, you know, having a little theory, could this have been perhaps, like, say, you know, a previous version of the Doctor and her and Susan before they end up, you know, going to Earth and all that, or maybe it's just like say, you know, timey-wimey nonsense. Because after this, the character would not really appear on canon, like, unless it was behind the scenes of like say, hey, when the Doctor himself is like say, hey, you know, I miss my granddaughter, or something of that nature.
Get out. You can keep your memories. Now get out before I change my mind. Don't speak, don't start, just run. No, go! Oh. Shut up. You shut up as well. Will you all, please, just leave me alone? I can't do that anymore, I promised!
And it does give out the question of, would she, because, you know, like, it makes you think, perhaps she, in a way, continued life with David and did start a life. Maybe that could have been the case. Maybe she just continued on, but also could have been a factor was perhaps she continued on to create, you know, be involved in the war on Gallifrey. Because since we only have, like, say, ideas of passing, like, say, hey, when she is referenced, perhaps, in a way, she took her grandfather's suggestion of living her own life, and perhaps, like, you know, Susan is still a Time Lord. She still has the ability to regenerate. Perhaps what could have happened to her character is similar to what could have happened, like what happened to the character of River Song, who, you know, is a archaeologist of the future.
What is this conversation? Explain.
You keep out of this.
We need to get to work.
Okay, what have you got?
4 exits, 2 concealed, 1 in the ceiling.
There's also one in the floor.
No, I don't like it.
Too close to the engine ducts?
Bit too tight.
Oh, I hope you're not being personal.
Excuse me, what are you talking about?
Hush, Mummy and Daddy are busy.
What do you think, by the way?
Of what?
My new body.
Oh, I'll let you know. I've only seen the face.
Perhaps she had figured out a way to have her own TARDIS, or perhaps she is still also, in a way, trying to find where her grandfather is well. And she was also referenced in the most recent episode of the revival of Doctor Who.
Okay.
You're what?
My granddaughter.
Susan.
We could go and have a look, but you know, timelines.
Well, you've got children.
I did have, I will have. Time laws get a bit complicated.
Yeah, but you've got a granddaughter. Like now, like today, back in our time, my time. Ah, where is she?
I don't know.
How do you not know?
Time Lords were murdered. Genocide rolled across time and space like a great big cellular explosion. Maybe it killed her too.
Doctor, God.
In which, you know, her character was mentioned. So perhaps she is still out there as well. But who is to say? It is actually a very tricky question, because most of, like, say, references with her being a major player in a story are, like, say, not canon material. So yes, it is quite a bit of a quandary of, like, where could she have gone? Where could she have, you know, taken her story? Where could she have gone in a way? But what is your thoughts? Where could Susan be in general? See you next time.